Hi, everybody. Welcome to an episode of Change Starts With Us Ohio. Today, we have a special guest out of Florida. Her name is Flava JoAnna. And Flava, explain how you got that name.
Okay, well, that's actually a street name from Philly. I'm a celebrity reporter. How you guys doing? And thank you, sir, for having me on. And it's my writing name, and it's just Flava. JoAnna is my government. That's what that's what they call me by when I go to appointments. But I'm better known as the angry activist. And I'm not angry, but people keep saying I am. I'm just pissed off that we're not taking advantage of the fact that taxpayers are the boss and politicians and police are employees.
That is very true, but it's going to be hard to push that, unless if they're forced, because like I had the news media come after me, and the legislators kind of backed off. They don't realize that they do work for us.
Well, they realize perfectly that they work for us. It's us who this message and what I'm bringing forth is for us to get to understand what that means and how to utilize it. Just staying where the boss means nothing.
Right.
Obviously, we're the boss. They go to election process to get elected and hired. So if we weren't the boss, they would just show up and take the job.
That's true.
Or they would just issue themselves, the positions. So this message is to go from, this is a master class of political, first to inform people of the political Ponzi scam that we have encountered. For instance, who are taxpayers begging for $15 an hour? We're begging our political employees while they're sitting up there making more than $15 an hour. Who authorized that? So by the time we're finished with this information session, this masterclass, people will be woke up on a whole different level. Taxpayers, no taxation without representation. I'm focusing on this today. Our money, our checks, our tax dollars. People are so concerned about a stimulus check. That's our own tax dollars. Joe Biden, the employee is not giving us anything that doesn't belong to us. What he's doing is setting himself up for another 4 years in office by making it appear that he's benefiting us, when in fact all he's doing is giving us and doing something that is supposed to happen. But we are here to inform people how to get 15 now, how to eliminate political pardons, how to eliminate political discrimination. Who told these political employees to take away our rights, our housing, our vote, anything? We did not hire and elect them, or we're paying them. We're paying for the entire judicial system. So everything we show up for every meeting to complain, to petition, this is so Americans, taxpayers, voters will understand. Stop that crap. Stop complaining and stop marching. Stop petitioning. What are you doing? And it's not resulting in anything. Who are you fighting? When we say we want cleaner air, we don't have to go into petition mood and to organizing ourselves and then end up with still wanting and begging for cleaner air, fresher water 3, 5, 10 years later. People are wanting justice and reform. So who are you begging? We don't have over-sentencing divisions. We don't have wrongful conviction divisions. So why would we need political employees who don't have enough sense to know what we want and then have the audacity to deny, reject, and make us fight for what we say we want instead of implementing these things? So that means they can't do their job. They won't do their job. Therefore, we have to hire and employ other people to do and manage what we need. It's a simple process like any other company. Employees don't work out, you get rid of them, and you get some more.
Right. Yeah, we have to really educate people, especially those that were behind bars. A lot of people assume this and that, and a lot of them are wrong.
I worked over 10 years in prisons, but the advocacy portion is it's a thin line to balance, because there's no way I could have worked in the prisons for as many years as I've had if I was deemed or considered a threat of any kind. And I know exactly what to say. I've worked with the head prison secretaries in the state of Florida. I worked in there. They asked me for curriculums, but yet my curriculum for reentry is still not put into the system, because our employees who did not come up with a curriculum, who have no clue about reentry, have had the audacity to take away the taxpayers' rights, which is our rights to work. How does that work?
Yeah.
We hire and elect them, but them. This is one of the most insane things that has ever happened.
One thing I would like to add to it: to be a successful advocate, you have to take a stand against the DRC. If not, then they're going to run over people and continue to do the nonsense that they do. We've been very successful in Ohio to get the fair part of things implemented.
And what is that specifically?
Treatment of prisoners.
Okay, that's awesome. So the next logical step is for me to think is to get their family members and friends once again. They're asking the employees to do certain things instead of us telling them and getting things implemented. For instance, food, medical, we're always at the table. If you see all of the reports that come out, everyone is still fighting for something. And that's how you know people don't get it, whomever is fighting, because we as the taxpayer voter boss, we don't have to fight for anything. So this is zero tolerance and the end of no. When political employees say no, they've got to go. No equals no election, no re-election. And this is the message for every city, state, and national activist organization movement to get, especially the ACLU, especially the NACP. What are these main organizations, our major organizations, are the ones who have been out here the longest, and obviously they don't get that because they're still begging for reparations, and it took them forever to beg for and to get gay rights. So the main organizations that everyone is following in this country, they are misleading and misinforming people. Not that they're not doing a great job in trying, they're doing a bad job in succeeding. And that's what this is about. To get people to stop trying, begging, and for political employees to understand that the jig is up. That we see you, and every last one of them, we start off with them. We can't vote them out at one time. We can send them out, start voting them out, replacing them as we should, with the understanding of the new employees that this is not going to be tolerated ever again. No longer will we stand by and allow you to take away anything from us. Why would we? Why would we allow the dog to be master?
But that has never worked in any state in the United States.
Well, it's never been tried, so don't talk about something that won't work when it hasn't been tried.
It has been tried in Ohio. It has been tried in Ohio.
Okay, no one in this country has ever got reparations, and up until recently, homosexuals just recently got gay rights because they finally realized, who are we begging? They begged forever. They begged and pleaded and petitioned political employees, and then they finally woke up and said, what are we begging you for? We're the boss. So this what I'm telling you has already worked. I didn't create common sense, and I don't own the rights to it.
No, I'm on my 12th year of doing this, and some things will work. It depends what state you're in. You're not going to get the Democrats or the Republicans in the state of Ohio to follow the thing about.
Who is a Democrat? What is this? I love the fact that you just said that. That proves you don't get it.
Wait a second. I get it. I'm just telling you the facts.
I'm not going to get them to. Who am I? You mean taxpayers aren't going to get their Democrat, Republican employees? That's like saying a manager or assistant manager. That's call being a Democrat or a Republican
that is.
red or blue.
And that's how, that is how it is in society.
But that's not how we're going to allow it to continue. Listen to the message. I say what people have been doing. This is so that they will achieve. They've been going northbound when they're going the wrong way when they should be going southbound. No, they're never going to get political employees to give them what they want until they fire. So we fire them. So this is to wake up people, and when you know better, taxpayers, you'll do better. Felons, there's no such thing as a felon. People are walking around here allowing political employees to take away jobs and rights from felons, but you still have to pay taxes. So all felons are owed compensation, or for wrongful termination, or for employment discrimination. What do we hire and elect these fools for, and paying them with our money so they can take away our rights and our jobs? Wait till everybody gets woke up. No taxation without representation, and we got enough voting power to vote out everyone. This is another thing Americans, taxpayers keep begging for. Marijuana legalization. Who are you allowing to deny you? Your employees. Millions of people across this country say they want to smoke marijuana, and you allowing a few thousand political employees to reject that. When this isn't a one-sided thing, this is across the board, A to Z. Bees, trees, manatees, whatever the taxpayer wants, they're going to get woke up to understand how and why they're not getting it. Because your political employee that you're paying for is preventing you, denying you. So everybody is mad or bad or sad. We're going to have happy victories. We're going to have justice and reform. Why? Because we can. And why would we allow political Ponzi scammers, Mitch McConnell, or career Confederates, Mitch McConnell and the rest?
Wait a second. Don't pick one party out, because it's not one party.
I didn't say any party. I spoke of an individual.
Right, but I didn't see you. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, we don't name politicians on it because we are nonprofit. We're not permitted to.
Well, I'm naming a specific. Okay, first of all, I didn't say him. The entire CNN and the entire media is claiming that he's a political bully. I'm just only re-reporting that what is already reported.
Yeah, and he's being bullied by the other side. I mean, that if you see what's happening, they're trying to take over the government completely by making Washington D.C. another state. It's going to be one-sided, and nothing will get done because then they can do what they want.
The point is this: the taxpayers haven't become aware yet. People who receive disability checks are millions across this country, and they are not receiving a livable wage check. When they discover that their political employees are making more than them, going home in Teslas and going home to condos, no company allows the employees to make more than the owners, and we're the owners. The government, we are the owner. So this is a new master class that I am teaching. I have been teaching and preaching for years. Well, this is like Susie Warman said, forget everything you heard before. Now this is the only class that you need across the board. We are going to have million taxpayer voter registration drives. Why? Because everyone must be registered. That's why, oh, by the way, any politician, political employee that has tampered with the vote or trying to deny the taxpayer, us, the boss, the right to vote, we're going to have a political reform or a political purge report card.
Well, I guess,
every single person that's on the card, they will be identified to the taxpayer voter of who needs to be
Well,
fired.
I guess you can have the dogs and the dead people vote like they did the last election, but that's not fair. And people need to use an ID to prove who they are.
No, what's not fair is political Ponzi scammers utilizing or taking away. Listen, I said take away the vote from people that are alive. And by the way, everybody in this country knows that this country is very good with identifying dead people. As soon as you're dead, you just get cut off.
Hogwash.
So,
That's not true.
We We don't. Okay. Yeah. The issue does not lie with that, and we're not going to make up false things.
Wait a second. You have made some false. You made false comments. For one, they have. Wait. I'm talking.
What is the comment that was false?
You said that mostly live people were voting. That's not true. They had a big portion of dead people, and including animals.
I didn't say who was voting. What did you say? Repeat that again.
You made a comment that they're very good at making sure the people that vote are alive. They didn't the last election.
I didn't say anything like that. You heard that in your brain. I said we are not going to allow political policy scammers to take away the right of taxpayers and felons to vote. Taxpayers and felons. You're the one that brought up that.
No, you did, because I brought up about animals and and also dead people being registered to vote. That put one person ahead.
This is the point. We have enough people to ensure our system is fair and correct. We've never had problems until recent times with these fools. So we're not going to make up problems where there aren't. And if there are problems, we'll identify them incorrectly. That's so simple.
Well,
Another thing I like to mention is the fact that we have sat back. We, being black people, are still complaining about wanting reparations in this country. Who's denying these reparations? And who gave Native Americans land and casinos employees? Who is allowing political Ponzi scam employees to raise millions and billions of dollars for election themselves? So we need to eliminate or restrict political campaign fundraising, because these are jobs that don't even pay $1 million. So why would we allow fools to raise millions and billions of dollars?
But instead of all that, let's overturn the crime bill that our president put in when he was a senator that keeps people locked up. And he still supports it.
We can do all of that. And all we have to do is make up a list and present them the list of what we want. And when they don't do it, we tell them what the consequences will be. This is why you were hired and elected, not to come back and veto it, not to go into session, not to argue. And we need to take their salaries down. We need to restrict all their benefits and eliminate the pardon power so that the people will have it. That's what they're hired and elected for. And when they say no, they got to go.
That I agree with there. And the thing is, we say they got to go, but you also have to convince people. And some people are so set in their minds.
Nobody's set in their. Everybody wants their jobs. Everybody wants their rights. Listen, what I'm bringing to the table has never been done before. And remember, homosexuals fought for decades because they wanted same-sex marriage. And how did they get it? They told them what I'm telling you. They told political employees, you're not going to deny us anymore. You work for us. We pay your salary, and you're going to do it, or we're going to vote you out systematically nationwide. And they flipped. See, that was it. No, everyone keeps saying it, but we're making false threats. You know, we say what this and say that, but this is about money, getting everyone's jobs and getting everyone compensated and getting, for instance, wrongful convictions. We need a cap, $1 million, no less than $1 million per year. That's it. We can do that. They will never do that, and they don't have to. It's not their job. Their job is to do what we tell them to do. So let's get on it. Now that we know the secret's out, let's use it. There's no need to debate it. No need to say what they're not going to do. When they say no, they got to go. And the millions of people I just saw out here being mad about police brutality, well, why is there no reform? Because they're not going to do it. We will force them to do it, or they will go. Every police chief can get fired and replaced. Everybody is expendable. There's no one that is not that we value or we need so much. None of them. So enough of this political Wizard of Oz. Tax to realize just because you have a title or a powerful position doesn't mean crap. When you're bad, you got to go. Good can stay. People who can do their job of what they're, and all political politicians are bad. They're sitting up in session, arguing with one another, not getting things done. Well, let's remove them so we can get our country on track and have benefits in our lifetime. What are we complaining about? What are we wanting? That's the proof for right there. If you are a political or a felon or formerly incarcerated citizen, every single one of them is trying and fighting, and they don't know. Who are you fighting? Who are you meeting with? Who's telling you no? Now that they know better, they're going to do better. They're fighting to get their loved ones pardoned. Meanwhile, these fools are sitting up here pardoning themselves, having parties and going home, avoiding jail time. Oh yeah, how dumb are we? Very.
Well, you know, we have so many people here in Ohio that has dedicated. Myself, I've gone to three strokes and 2 heart attacks since I've been doing this. You know, and
right. Don't you want to succeed? Don't you want a victory?
We are in Ohio very much. We've got.
If Ohio was succeeding, the rest of the country would be following.
No.
Doing something basic and something that has happened, that's good. The point is, we don't have to be trying and talking about, oh, Ohio got a victory over there. All of these fools nationwide work for us. Now, the president is an employee. One president, 50 governors. My God, look how many individuals we are allowing to destroy and tear this country up. A handful.
Yeah, but.
So Ohio can be the spark that lights off the knowledge for the rest of the nation. This is going to be like an avalanche tsunami. This will hit these political. Right now, they're talking about going back to the Capitol. These insurrectionists and having another march. What is that? They're flaunting this Confederate crap in our face, and instead of us locking it down, dealing with them, every single one of those fools that caused that problem in D.C. are supposed to be getting indicted and charged. If it was you or I, we would be. And that's the reality of it all. Instead of talking about that, we need to be forcing and making sure, not letting any of them slide. Now, if activists aren't on that, making sure that real justice is accomplished while they're sitting up here having heart attacks and strokes, imagine that. While they're getting away with injustice, while cameras are using our money, not doing our will, not doing what needs to be done, we're sitting here going along with it, having strokes and heart attacks. And I'm going to get a victory. It's them or me. We have nothing to lose. And by the way, we're the boss. So let's move forward to time served, no second served, automatic rights. People all are federal government jobs. We're not going to be excluded from anything because the taxpayer, we have been discriminated against. If you cannot get a job, housing, rights, a vote, you as a taxpayer have been discriminated against, and that's a class action lawsuit. We want wrongful conviction termination, new over sentencing divisions. They don't have to figure it out. We have. All they need to do is what they're hired to do and elected to do, and that's to implement it and manage it. If they can't figure it out, no problem. Goodbye. We'll hire better people. Okay. See, simple thing. We're government, a job.
Okay, you got 5 minutes for closing because they're running up to a half hour.
Well, I'll give your listening audience this. Wake up, taxpayers for change. 866-909-2929. If you're writing or if you're listening or watching and you want to get this information to a loved one, this is Felon Freedom Fund or Triple F Threat. Felon Family and Friends. You don't have to beg. Let's get everything that we need and on point. And that's P.O. Box 172-102, Tampa, Florida 33672. And 866-909-2929 is the number to call us. All of us activists, reformists, taxpayers, let's get together. Let's live our lives in peace and harmony, and let's have victory marches. And remember, no equals no election, no re-election. When they say no, they got to go. No taxation without representation. Thank you. We are the boss.
Okay, thank you, Flava, for joining us today. She's not really happy with me. I don't agree with her on majority of what she said. To get people voted out, you have to educate people. If you want felons in, get felons to run. We have a couple people with records that's sitting in Cleveland City Council. That should not stop anybody. We have the right to vote in Ohio. We have the right to run for office in Ohio. And our group doesn't judge nobody, no matter what their conviction was. We don't know if they're guilty or not. And even if they are guilty, people can change. This is just so wrong. And it's a good talk, but you can't get them mad. You have to convince them our way is the right way, and then replace them if they don't agree on too much. Now, we're not going to agree on everything, so I'm not talking about minor things or little things. I'm not going to say who I think should go, but I would say it's so many people in Ohio right now should be out of a job that's in public office. Those in Washington that's becoming dictators recently, they need to go. Everything is one-sided in Washington. Felons are not being treated good. And when you served your time, you served your time. Change Starts With Us Ohio was originally Fair Treatment Reform and Reentry. And I saw that several years ago. We had great people on the board, but Change Starts With Us Ohio is unique. We will sit here and we will not move, until the fair way is taken place. We don't call and cuss people out, but we will take a stand. If it's against the DRC, if it's against politicians, we'll take a stand, a peaceful stand at that. I would not protest. I would not attend a protest, which it turns into violence. And our group I think we had two protests this year, and we have one on October 2nd on wrongful conviction day on the corner of South High and State. We need to have a good turnout at these events. Our conference, wrongful conviction conference, we have it on Eventbrite. I will post it underneath the video on Facebook. Or you could email us at changestartswithusohio@gmail.com. We have an Eventbrite link. And if you don't even find it, just show up. There's going to be lunch served. There's going to be some tables with information for people. And we want to educate people. But this conference is on wrongful convictions. But if your cause is pro-reform or individual reform, please come and join us. And be part of the solution. It takes an army, guys. It really does. Our website, please check it out, is at www.changestartswithusohio.org. Again, that is www.changestartswithusohio.org. If you're able to make a $5, $10 donation, please do so. That helps with our conference and upcoming events and supplies such as ink and stuff for the computers, paper. All that costs money. Even our phone bill. That's $60 a month. It's unlimited because of the amount of calls we get. So we appreciate everybody, and thank you for listening, and God bless you.